Hello, everyone, and welcome back to BPL Season 3, Round of 16, Group C, Round 1, Game 3, between two incredibly strong players. And I'm excited we went to a Game 3. So this is Game 3 between ZLO and Lapatka. Game 2, kind of an awesome game. I am joined by the illustrious ZLO. ZLO, talk to me about that last game. How was that last game for you?
Oh, that's definitely interesting. I'm not used to seeing games getting so porked up like that. But yeah, lots of pork, and it basically got to the T3 stage with so many dragons. That was pretty exciting. 'Cause I don't see a lot of dragons in 1v1s.
Yeah, I mean, it was awesome. Like the dragon straight into the Shiva swap. I absolutely love that. It was like he had the dragons, completely decimated the base, and he had Shivas ready for the response. And so all the tigers and everything else coming, that was coming running in, just immediately got shut down.
Yeah, great use of mind layers, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, he got. I think both players got quite a bit of use out of their mind layers. ZLO, especially though, had some absolutely ridiculous minds that just got so much value.
Yeah, definitely.
So if you're hopping in now, ZLO picked Feast of Hades and won on that. Lapatka picked Canis River and won on that. And this is a BO3, so there are 9 maps total. So we need to ban out the remaining maps, and we're going to see what the players are going to leave for the finale. ZLO taking out Theta crystals. Okay. It's funny. I feel like I've seen quite a few bans of Theta, and I actually really like it as a map. What is there anything? I guess because it's more of a technical map. I remember you talked about it being a little bit more technical, right, ZLO?
Yeah, it's hard to just like lay down a bunch of pressure because of how the spawning goes. And I think because of the metal contents of your starting area. So yeah, it gets a little bit wonky, right? Because you can't just like push out a bunch of units and like go for it.
Right. And Sierra Lada ban is interesting. I feel like that's the second most played map, right? So it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, that's definitely an interesting one. I mean, I think it's a map that's hard to pork on, maybe. I mean, after watching that last one, I'm just thinking like, play style wise, like maybe they're not as great on it.
Yeah, that definitely could make sense. So
we got Heartbreak Hill.
Heartbreak Hill. All right, I'm gonna make a prediction, ZLO, and you're gonna have to call me Nostradamus afterwards. I predict we're going to see grunts.
Probably, yeah. I wouldn't take that bet if you were offering a bet there.
All right, fair enough. No,
it's definitely a grunt map. I mean, I think I don't know. I don't see a reason why you couldn't go with ARM bots as well. But yeah, generally speaking, you see a lot of grunts here.
Yeah, we saw Goopy go. Who was it? Goopy versus Kuchi in Group A. Goopy did some ARM bots on it, which I found interesting.
Yeah.
So, and I hear players. So let's not look at me and let's look at the game. We've got Lapatka in bottom right, standard spawn. Looks like he is going his standard 2 mechs into energy into bot lab, and ZLO is, I'm assuming, also going to go 2 mechs, but sometimes you can go 3. Let's see.
Yep.
Let's see what's going on here. So in a lot of the games that I watched previously, these are sort of the standard spawning positions, but we saw Kuchi spawn here, and we also saw Teddy spawn here, which I like.
We also saw a Contra spawn at the bottom.
Oh yeah, that's true, right? Contra spawned like down here somewhere, or no, he spawned. Where did he spawn?
I mean, he was on the other side, but yeah.
Yeah, he was over there. So yeah, it's nice to kind of see that mix up of all the different ones, all the different styles.
Yeah, and I've seen a lot of different things work during this tournament. So, but yeah, it's kind of it's kind of nice in a way to see them going back to, or see players actually play the standard spawns.
Yeah, and what do we got here? So ZLO is going to go Grunt Con, 3 Grunt Con, 3 Grunt Con, 5 Grunt Resbot.
Huh.
Lapatka with the, what is this? I guess it's 5 Grunt Con Resbot, early Resbot, I guess. For
interesting.
Yeah, and then Con and then 6 Grunts.
I guess so. I mean, to me, there isn't really enough E on this map to really go for a fast res bot like that, but
Yeah, it's
I don't
only
know.
20K.
I mean, there's a little bit of metal in like some rocks, but like it's very little. It's like some rocks in the base.
Yeah, I mean, it's 180 metal total on the map. The problem is like there is 20K energy on it, but a bunch of that energy is like on trees that are in the middle or on the edges of the map. It's not like a lot of the other maps where you actually can see, you can actually like get a bunch of reclaim near your base immediately.
Right. Yeah, the trees are definitely like big trees in terms of E, but at the same time, it's like you generally don't need like a big clump of E at once. You don't really have the storage for it. Assuming that you already have some E, so you got to be careful of, when you reclaim those.
ZLO somehow just split the wickets on both those scouting grunts, and he's going to be able to get into the base. I don't know if he'll be able to get too much damage done. His other force is going to run to the expanding con with the supporting grunts here. And here we go. This grunt is in. Can he get anything done? No, he's going to take a little siesta. He sees the tranquil
it's time for a union break.
No, he sees the tranquil pond. He just wants to take in the natural beauty of Heartbreak Ridge. How could you?
Yeah,
he's going to circle back around. Okay.
I mean, he like showed it though, right? So I mean, Lapaka's got to know.
Lapatka knows. So the scouting grunts from Lapatka ran into the supporting units there. They didn't want to do anything else, and Lapatka is gonna sneak in a grunt on this side, but ZLO has the radar. He sees it, and he is moving to react to it now. On this side of the base, this other grunt, he ran in, and now he's like, maybe I don't want to be here.
There's maybe too many unfriendly people here.
Yeah, I think there's no escape, unfortunately, sir.
Yeah,
he's out.
Well, it looks like ZLO is a little bit more ahead on the expansions here with that con out there in front.
Yeah, he has the expanding con going up to the north, taking kind of this standard 4 mechs, and then a lot of times we see, the pork in front of it, where they either do the double exploiter or they just have a ton of LLTs there. And he does have the expanding con on the bottom. So this metal income difference, 12 to 9, might get even a little bit bigger soon.
Yeah, well, and Lapaka's using his commander to boost out units. He doesn't really have the metal for it right now, though. I mean, I guess they're both kind of doing that. I mean, personally, I think it's much better, once you run out of metal, try to have a con already done and start moving your commander out. Because, yeah, that's a lot of build power that could be taking mexes right now.
Yeah, that could be out on the field. And ZLO is, he's got a lot of cons out here. So that's going to be his third expanding con, which I like. And then Lapatka has another con going out there. So Lapatka's actually relatively close, and maybe he'll be able to equalize this soon. We've got potential little grunt battle on bottom here. Or not. They're just going to look at each other and then run away.
Yep, pretty passive so far.
Lapatka doesn't know that there's this army or these expanding cons here, so he's going to run in, and once he sees that, I feel like he needs to back off immediately.
Yeah, and he does.
Yeah, he is out. So in terms of metrics, it's looking relatively kind of equal for the most part. Metal has completely equalized. Energy is slightly in favor of ZLO. BP slightly in favor of ZLO. Same with, overall metal produced and energy produced. But army values are pretty close. It's not like anyone's necessarily pulling away with this game yet. But ZLO is starting to
very close game.
Mass grunts.
We'll see how this advances. I mean, we'll see if it becomes like Pork Fest or not. Definitely a harder map to pork on compared to Canis River.
Yeah, Canis River with those 4 choke points. It's one of those things where, because you don't see the actual, I feel like we don't see that many games go late and be porkable, that you don't realize how defensible the map is until you like actually see persecutors and things holding all those chokes.
Right. Yeah. Yes, I mean, it's a map that I've seen. I have seen it go to T2 quite a few times, but yeah, usually it doesn't, usually T2 isn't like a pork fest either. So understandable though. Yeah. With just those 4 choke points. I think that's part of why that map is pretty popular.
ZLO has this pretty big force of grunts in the middle. It's visible on radar though, so I'm not sure how much he's really gonna be able to get done, but he has some pretty aggressive posturing here.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of forward positioning here. There a lot of spread units though, so I don't think he's really looking for an engagement, but just for posture and you know, making sure nothing's like gonna run through. Take care of that grunts on the top.
Yeah, there's just little skirmishes all around the map where they're trading out units.
But yeah, it seems like both these players very much favored more like macro play over like just like straight up engaging all the time and picking off what you can.
Yeah, it does feel like ZLO is starting to pull ahead pretty substantially though in the energy production department.
Yeah.
Is this just what is he? Has he just been eating stuff for a while? But it seems like it's relatively consistent, right? He just, I guess he just straight up has more wind. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it looks like you know, blue has gone with a lot of solars here.
He will come to regret that. Actually, he might actually be a huge fan of it once the wind drops and then he gets to feel awesome.
Right.
But in the meantime, he is definitely falling behind. ZLO is massing that energy. And oh, here's the raid from ZLO on top. He's gonna get a max. I think he gets this con as well.
Yeah, this is quite the raiding party here. He can even pick off some of those grunts there.
Yeah, and he had a grunt that ran to the side that picked off another construction bot. So he runs in, he kills 2 construction bots, a mechs, and kind of pulls back that. And he doesn't have to stay here, right? I think.
Right.
Yeah, he's just going to back off. So that's actually great damage. I mean, he's keeping Lapatka trapped in his base. And it's actually a little scary, right? I mean, look at Lapatka's map control. He's just kind of stuck in this like
he's
corner
a little
of the
stuck.
map. And
yeah,
ZLO
that's pretty rough. I mean, ZLO has definitely taken the lead on stuff at this point. After that engagement,
ZLO is just mass expanding behind all of these. So we don't see any transition. Okay, as soon as I say that, there is in fact
a
a vehicle transition.
Yep.
And Lapatka hasn't decided to do his V transition yet. And first thing is a V con, interesting. And then just straight into Brute. I feel like when there's this many pawns on the field, the brutes are going to have issues moving around anyway. Is there a reason why you don't just make a couple like courtesy pounders just to like hold positions?
Yeah, I mean, you definitely could. I'm a big fan of incisors personally in this situation because the map is so like wide open in a way.
Right.
They're going to trade a lot better with things like grunts than brutes are. But yeah, once you get a sizable force of brutes, you can just like kind of run through, you know, a grunt's army, especially if you have your own grunts behind it. So maybe that's what he's trying to do here.
Looks like we're going to see a little bit of an engagement on the side here. We've got 12 grunts versus 11 grunts, and they're just going to break out the old school colonial era fighting wall.
Yeah, just going to say this is fighting wall.
Line up and take shots
Muskets
at each other.
and everything.
Yeah, Lapatka actually has massive 28 grunt raid coming into ZLO's base here, and he loses a few, but he's sniping those. I think he should be able to get quite a few mexes, right? I think he gets quite a bit here.
He could. I mean, it depends on how he moves him in, right? I mean, it's nice cleaning up that's reinforcement party. But yeah, now that the big party of reinforcements are coming down, I mean, I guess he can get these 3 mexes if he wants.
Is it worth it to trade all those grunts for those 3 mexes though?
I don't think so.
Because a lot of this army is occupying a greater number of grunts and just keeping them on this side. He's going to run up this hill into, I don't think he knows that there's...
Okay. Yeah, it's always rough kind of watching him go up the hill like that. But yeah, this is probably the best that you can get out of that situation.
I mean, I think it's going to work out. Well, I'm not going to say work out relatively well, but he actually gets all of that. Oh, he doesn't kill the con though. Oh no. The con
he kind of needs to get
health.
that con. Oh no.
34 health. Oh,
yeah.
So close. And brutes from ZLO are knocking on the front door now. So Lapatka sees this and he's going to go straight T2.
Ooh.
while e-stalling. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's a great idea considering he just lost that top portion or that bottom portion.
Yeah, I mean, that whole army is going to run through.
Yeah, right. He's not gonna have any defenses for a little bit now. Yeah, especially if he doesn't reclaim the like T1 lab and stuff.
Yeah, I guess he wants it to, well, he does still want res bots, which makes sense. The problem is he just doesn't have the E for any of this. I mean, the wind dropped, but even without the wind dropping, he only has, I mean, the wind's starting to pick up now, but he doesn't have great E production.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a good chance that, ZLO could like take out all of that bottom stuff, but it looks like he's just going to run towards the middle. Just going to play it safe. I mean, obviously he doesn't know about the transition, so he doesn't know what kind of reinforcements are around. And I suppose he doesn't want to get those units stuck up there either.
And we're going straight into Fiend, which, if there's one unit that trades well into grunts, it is definitely Fiends. Oh man, this brute got like stuck on the hill here and just gets instantly surrounded.
I hate when that happens.
So Lapatka sees, or ZLO sees this, right? Yeah, so ZLO sees this Fiend, he gets the T2, so he knows what's coming, he knows what's there, and he's gonna have to figure out what he wants to do to fight this.
Yeah, well, and he's, I think, in a good position. He definitely has a lot of time to like figure that out. But yeah, it's a pretty sizable force from ZLO actually moving towards the top there.
Yeah, I mean, brutes don't trade great into Fiends, but they don't also trade horribly as long as they're not super grouped. Do you think he should, go Sala, or does he just stay brute? What do you think the best course of action here is?
Yeah, I mean, I think brutes are a good choice here. I mean, he could do Sala. He could, try to do like an air transition, or there's just there's a lot of different opportunities. In Bar, there's just there's so many different unit types to go through.
So we're gonna see a clash on bottom and a clash on top, but there's a ton of Fiends that should be able to hold that. And on bottom, let's see how this works out. These Fiends are just running in. The grunts are kiting them pretty well actually on this bottom fight here.
Yeah, grunts can do okay if they're if they're kiting. Obviously if they stand still, they just kind of fall over and die rather quickly. But
yeah, Fiends are fighting them on the top here as well, so they're going to try to push him back. It looks like they drive him back. They're going to pick up some of those other brutes, but they're still fighting here. And actually, I feel like Lapatka may have messed up a bit on this bottom push, right? He ran in and then he ran into an exploiter along with a bunch of other supporting units, and there's res bots here, so this whole army is gonna, well, all the grunts in this army are gonna get rezzed. Fiends obviously leave no wrecks, but
yeah, unfortunately, yeah, it's these units are just gonna get picked off, and yeah, that's a very sizable wreck field for ZLO to pick up there.
And ZLO is still staying on T1 as far as we can tell. He's decided not to go to T2. Lapatka is not upping any of his mexes yet. He is just staying completely on Fiend, trying to apply as much pressure as possible.
Yeah, Lapatka assaulted the top side as well with a few Fiends and a small force, but yeah, same kind of thing where they're just kind of leaving wrecks here.
My concern with this is just Lapatka just he's nowhere out on the map, right? I mean, look at this corner. He's just completely locked into, and yeah, he has T2, but these mexes aren't even upgraded. So this metal disparity is absolutely rough, and the T2 units can definitely, they're a more effective use of metal, but they're only effective to a point. I mean, you need
he really
metal.
Really needs to re-expand. I mean, yeah, there's still like a lot of wrecks up there as well. So I wouldn't mind him adding on some more res bots, but yeah, he needs to kind of make sure that his E's in good order, because that's been kind of low up until recently. Yeah, he's trying to expand to the bottom side here, but yeah, there are some grunts here to harass that a bit.
Oh man, I think both these cons go down.
Yeah, unfortunately, those Fiends that were defending it are now running off towards the base.
Yeah, and Lapatka pulled his commander, so his column is going to go try to solo expand up top, and I like it, but I also feel like we've gotten to the point in the game where there are big enough grunt balls that, and brutes, I mean, there's brutes everywhere, right, that an exposed commander like this, as soon as ZLO sees it, which I guess he
Yeah,
hasn't yet.
he knows. He had a grunt that just died to it.
Oh, okay. So, I mean, he knows it's there. There's a lot of risk there now where, you know, if that commander doesn't have any supporting units, it might just melt. But ZLO getting ready for a massive engagement on bottom.
Yeah, it looks like he's just trying to hold that spot against you know, whatever assaulting fiends, and you know, trying to push forward so he has a lot of room to kite like he did last time.
Look at the amount of halos. Those are like all resurrected units. That is insane.
Yep, free army. Free army. It's like Switcher's gonna get picked off here in the middle.
Sorry, I was looking at halos. Got distracted. So Resbot is going to find that, and Fiends are going to come up and deal with this grunt ball here. ZLO is... He's just staying on T1. He is just making lots of units, and that is 17 T1 cons in ZLO's base.
I think he made a mistake and queued up too many.
Yeah, he has seven cons, 4 Resbots, 31 grunts on repeat. So he's got a lot of mobile BP.
Yes. I mean, it wouldn't be a bad time to transition. Then you can use that for, you know, assisting the T2 upping mexes.
Resbots coming in bottom and resurrecting everything else that's dead. I mean, this entire army is just haloed. There's like a handful of units that haven't been resurrected, but the rest of them are living the good life, or living their second life, I guess I should say.
Yeah, the second life. Yeah, I like the fact that he has a mine layer down there as well, just to, like, you know, help support if those fiends try to do it again.
Yeah, he can just run back over them and kite over the mines, which would be super annoying for the fiends to deal with. But Lapatka is just slowly getting choked out, and he still hasn't upgraded these mexes. I kind of feel like he needs to, because he's not gaining any ground on the map,
I'm surprised he hasn't.
He keeps skirmishing, but it's not like he's actually securing mexes. The only thing that's kind of securing mexes is his commander, but looks like there's 10 brutes coming over, and he's going to need some D-guns, or he's going to need to run down that hill incredibly soon.
Yeah, this is a very precarious situation, like you were saying before.
Okay, we need
But yeah,
D-guns?
D-guns can be pretty good here.
All right, he gets 2, he gets 5, he gets 7. So there's only 3 left. So pretty good D-guns, but that
he
con
is
has
so low.
Yeah, 700 health, and that is not a lot of health. And you can just see all of ZLO's army just coming up like, oh, hey, there's a commander here.
Yeah, fiends are coming up as well to defend, but that commander just, like, needs to get out of there.
Yeah, I mean, it can just kind of run down like this, right? Or it needs to just kind of run down like that?
Yeah, but there's that scout there as well. And he doesn't really have the E to do a walking cloak, so it's a little bit rough. But yeah, ZLO sees the fiends up there now. Decides not to go for it.
Yeah, he's going to go straight for the main, and there's Sheldon's coming out now, but he's got... ZLO has grunts in the base, and he's going to start picking away at the wind here, so... Unfortunately, Lapatka's in this horrible situation where he needs these fiends to protect his commander, but he also needed those fiends to protect his base.
Yes.
And ZLO, as soon as he saw him move, he just instantly capitalizes and says, "Oh, you need to go."
Oh, you're up there. Okay, I'm gonna be over here.
Yeah. Let me go erase your base.
Yep. Not quite as successful with all the fiends coming out, but actually there are some grunts here that do get in the back. And yeah, just that frontal pressure as well. So now those fiends, or now those grunts, are not going to be cleaned up as easily.
Yeah, and I mean,
tons of damage.
This base is more or less just completely dead, and Lapatka's Calm is here and completely exposed. So if ZLO wants, he can just run at it. Lapatka's trying to figure out how he's going to survive.
This tank's sitting on the edge there.
Base is, yeah, his base is getting dead, and yeah, Lapatka just calls it. He knows he's beat.
Yeah.
So, wow, I mean, that was, I don't want to say dominance from ZLO, but that was just a slow, steady, just kind of burn, right? Where he just, you know, he just exerted map control, and then he just kept it the whole game, and he basically pinned Lapatka in that base, which super interesting for sure. I feel like he definitely could have done Lapatka maybe if he'd upped his mexes, but then he would have lost tempo, but he needed to get back out on the map somehow.
Yeah, right. I mean, I think ZLO just did a good job of like, once in a while going in, picking off this, picking off that, and then just like getting out of there. Not taking too many losses, not leaving too many wrecks. And then from there, the game just kind of becomes this more kind of defensive, like, just build up in a way with little engagements here and there. But yeah, once the T2 rolls out, then heats up a little bit. But by that time, I think Lapatka was just a little bit too behind, and I think he knew it. He kind of needed to do something, so he saw that commander go out, and
and then
then it just becomes kind of dangerous.
Yeah, and then he was like, all right, well, yeah. So, I mean, it makes sense. He was behind and he tried to make the play and it didn't work out. So that is the first series of Group D. No, Group C. What group are we in? Group D? Group C?
D.
Group D, sorry.
It's been a long day.
Oh, God, I think I may have been saying Group C. Anyway.
Or wait.
No, I think
this was Group C.
This was Group C.
I'm the one that's messing up now.
So, ZLO took a game on Hades. Lapatka took a game on Canis River. And then ZLO took the final game on Heartbreak Hill, which I think is pretty awesome. And we can go back and take a look at brackets in a second. And we can see, I'm trying to remember who plays next. Let's take a look here.
We have Sashkorn and Shadi?
Yeah, Sashkorn and Shadi. So ZLO goes up 1-0, Lapatka goes down 0-1. And next up is round 1, C3, C4, Shadi versus Sashkorn. And we are excited to see you there, but we're going to go do a short break first.